your pencils ready, let's start the show. Drivel draws here, time to let it flow. We'll sketch and laugh, won't you come along? With every stroke we'll sing our song. Drivel draw, let your imagination soar. Drivel draw, bring art to every door. No need to be perfect, just have some fun. Drivel draw for everyone. From silly doodles to masterpieces bright, we'll make something special day and night. Colors explode with each new design. In Drivel draw, it's always fine. Drivel draw, let your imagination soar. Drivel draw, bring art to every door. No need to be perfect, just have some fun. Drivel draw for everyone. So grab a brush or a pen or a crayon. Make a mark any way you can. In this world of shapes and lines, we'll see creativity shine. Drivel draw, let your imagination soar.
I hate to have to do this. The following is an opinion based on my own experiences in life. It is in no way designed to target or attack anyone and is open to your own interpretation. We allow all people to respond and share to their own opinions here as well. All by no means is meant to do hurt or instigate harm to others. Violence and doxing is not only not cool, it's a crime. Seriously, don't be that jerk. I hate that I have to come forward with the warning when I'm talking about Pokemon. But the last time I talked about it, it was hated. Wait, no, hold on. Still not there. Fine. There we go. So yeah, I hate to say it when Pokemon's involved, but it is when Pokemon is involved that I have to put in these stipulations, because one of my most hated videos was me talking about the problems with Scarlet and Violet. And I expect that hatred again today as we draw and we talk about things. But I'll say as we get through working on this piece here, how I formed my opinion. So I was gonna wait until I got a Switch 2, which is still a long ways off for me, before getting this game initially. And then one day I was just like, I'm bored. It's on Switch 1. People are saying it's not horribly, or not having horrible glitches or results on Switch 1. I will say I've had 2 in my playthrough. I just finished it yesterday. And I have to say, it's better than Scarlet and Violet, in my opinion, but still bad. And part of what I feel is missing is they're not being entertaining enough in this stuff. It's a lot of stuff that I wish we saw something to, a cutscene, you know, or had some more sound effect or noise. The music's great, but I can't listen to it for 20-some plus hours over and over again as I try to catch another Pokemon. Give me some variety, some new stuff. And the fact that we get Nintendo suing people, particularly Pal World. Haven't played Pal World, that'll probably be on our list eventually. That we have Nintendo suing people for a license that technically I don't feel Nintendo has the right to license in the first place. I feel that way when the OGL incident came out with D&D, and I feel that way now with Nintendo. I enjoy Nintendo. Nintendo has been part of my life as I grew up, and more so. I mean, as I've stated before, I am not a young person. I am in my late 40s now. And I've played every iteration of Pokemon with the exception of probably I didn't play any of the Pokemon Ranger games because I just didn't feel like I wanted to just play a story game. But I wish this was more like the story. With Arceus, we at least had a story going on that I felt part of. This game, I feel, held my hand way too damn much. I felt right up to the end I was still being handheld and told, you're going here, you're doing this, you're doing this, you need to defeat. And I mean, a great experience of it is in a point in the game, and a lot of people know this, you fight the character Vinny. And Vinny, if you win or lose, you technically cannot lose, by the way. You jump up a ranks severely. You go from, I think it's like V to F or G, somewhere around there. And I feel we were enticed to really fight. And I mean, it's there in, online battles, but online battles are completely different than the game battles. And I do feel something's fishy about every time I go in an online battle because I just get completely trounced. Barely can get a hit in and then die. Even though I have the same level, everybody's put up at 50. And I have a level 70 going in there that goes to a level 50 and still getting my ass kicked. 100%. Now that could just be me. And I'm not going to fault them for the online play because of the hackers, there could be all kinds of stuff. What I am going to fault them for is story. And that's where I felt ZA really lacked. And a lot of people are like, oh, it's good, it brought new changes. It brings some new changes. But I kind of feel I'm getting more attacked by any Pokemon encounter, not just the alpha encounters, than my Pokemon are. My Pokemon go unnoticed, and I'll fight with them, and I'll beat the battles, but I have to spend most of the game running around and dodging attacks. And it's just like, that's nice, but this is a Pokemon game. Let my Pokemon do the fighting. And I feel a lot of the concept of this game kind of just let down the traditional players. Now people will be like, oh, well, it's not for you, it's for kids. I'm older than the games by about 20 years. Okay? When I was in college, I played Pokemon Blue on my Game Boy, not Game Boy Advance, not Game Boy Color, Game Boy, to the point that I was paying probably a good, I'd say, $50 in that time and place, which would be late 90s, in batteries. Because rechargeable batteries were a rare thing. You don't really have rechargeable batteries at the time. And when they did come out, they were expensive as hell. So I'd like to think I've been there the entire time for the Pokemon games and their promotion. And I feel today, as I put this down a bit, I do have the DLC. I know it's coming. I know it drops tonight. Here in the US. I just feel the game lacks a lot. And the thing that really disappoints me is it's not just the graphics, because yes, the graphics are still, a lot of people say PS2. I'd say, we'll give them a fair shake and say PS3 rating or GameCube rating, okay? I feel that a lot of events that should have happened on screen didn't. And a lot of story element could never pull me in. It's just like, go here, do this. I was like, okay. Like, no, we need to go take care of this first. It's like, yeah, give me a chance, okay? Let me explore the world. Let me do stuff. And I think that's part of the letdown here. Is the thing I liked about X and Y when it came out, it was possibly one of the biggest in world size Pokemon games. I remember being like way over leveled to the first gem because it took forever to get to the first gem. And it was a matter of the story was a little bit more enticing. Here I feel elements of the story are there, but it doesn't shape up until like last 20 minutes with an event that I absolutely have to deduct points for not seeing. And that is the collapse of the shutters, the metal around the tower. Why we just have the, world shake and all of a sudden we're, the tower's cleared, I don't know. I really question Game Freak on what it's doing for Pokemon games. And they can't have the continuous excuse of, well, this is how, people like this and whatnot. You have another game here in development with Game Freak that is higher definition, lots better graphics. And I guarantee have cutscenes coming down the line that you've already premiered with, and it looks 1,000 times better than every Pokemon game you've released. And some people be like, oh no, it's not for you, it's for kids. Well, here's the thing. When you create something and you have a following, the first thing you need to think through is how to maintain your audience. And I feel too much of what Pokemon's been doing, it's been lackluster. Now, a lot of people are poo-pooing the one game I kind of am interested in, but it's the Animal Crossing fan of me, Pokepia. I am interested in seeing that game. I'm more interested in that than I was in ZA. The only reason I did ZA is because I'm still missing Pokemon from having a full Pokedex on home. And some of them may be coming out, some of them may not. On ZA, I don't want to risk, missing out on that. It's the fear of missing out. And while I will say the improvements in gameplay are great, I think they're still way overdue for polishing. And I feel Game Freak really, at this point, doesn't give a crap. They're not caring about their own property that they've created and that's made them an empire. It's made them the largest, brand out there. And why we don't have, and I know I call this out, so many other people call this out, why we don't have voice acting in a Pokemon game in 2025 when I can have voice acting in an indie game? It can be crap, but it's voice acting. I'm still hearing Pokemon reuse and overuse the tired old MIDI sounds they have for Pokemon. Now, I understand it'd be a lot of work. You have over 1,025 Pokemon now, and it takes a lot of power to make unique sounds. But can we get away from the digital stuff, okay? It's well overdue to change. And that's just saying the Pokemon. I don't mind reading a story. Hell, I write stories. I read a lot of things. I feel if I have to read a wall of text to get an ounce of what you're trying to tell me is the plot. And the plot doesn't really manifest. It didn't manifest until much later in the game. And you don't even get megas until, gosh, I'd say about 5 hours into the game. I mean, you could just speed run, skip every quest and whatnot. But at the same time, I feel if you do that, you kind of end up with weaker Pokemon. You're having a harder time to play. And the fact that we've not had home function with this game from the get-go, it's a bit infuriating. I know they're saying, oh, well, if you bring them in here, they won't be transferable to other games. That's been the case every time with Pokemon title. I feel Arceus at least, like I said, had a plot. The plot was, an isekai. Okay. This was more of an environmental plot, which, I mean, if you caught the last time we talked about this with Pokemon, I was all for, I'm all for an environmental plot, disaster, and whatnot. What I'm not for is the sort of just slam it in there at the end notion that Nintendo's been doing quite often. They really have. And it's like, or Game Freak's been doing it. It's like, this is build up. It's great plot. No, it's great plot. No, it's not. You need to have bits and pieces of the story throughout and be like, you had Zekrom always looking at you and watching you over as you go, and that's the plot right there taking place. It's like, no, you get him aura farming, essentially, in the distance, and be like, okay, I have him here. Well, can I ever interact with him? Can I fight him? And you don't fight him until you're right before your second to last battle on the AZ games. And I just feel, yeah, they did do some good changes. There's no real villain, air quotes. Yet there is a villain. And the fact that Nintendo lately has been trying, or Game Freak's been trying continuously to have the villain that is accidentally a villain. Had good intentions, but accidentally is the villain. I feel is dumbing down the games more and more. I feel when I play the games, I'm like, oh, you're a villain. Yep. Mm-hmm. Oh, what you did, draws in chaos, brings the world in threat. Yep. Mm-hmm. It's like, get better with the writing. Get better with the hiding the individual. If you're going to do that route. Or go back to, having clans or clashes or something like that. Instead of what we get, which is pretty much just, oh, hey, yeah, this is Pokemon. It's, we're going to bring in a villain here and you'll be sympathetic because we'll tell you a story in about 5 minutes of the game right before you conclude. And it's like, what the hell? I didn't like it in Galar. I didn't like it in Scarlet and Violet. In Scarlet and Violet, they at least set up the professor that you meet. They at least set up in Galar the chairman. Albeit, they don't make the chairman look evil at all until he's evil. It's like, oh, he's evil. You don't see a villain with a desire. And that's really hurting me in continuing to play these games because it's like, give me a story villain that has a purpose. Sure, it can be a natural disaster. Okay, make a Pokemon the villain. I mean, no one was really the villain in AZ. Or in ZA. No one is the villain. It's the environment. And a message that sort of they made in the past. But it's like, okay. So we're not defeating a villain. We're defeating the results of the villain's work years later. And what we're getting is cold and uncaring. I'm gonna have to say it that way. It's cold and uncaring. We see it in the graphics. We see it in the way Nintendo and Game Freak treat the release of their Pokemon. We see it in the story. It's just, I have to go to the Mystery Science Theater joke. They just didn't care. They wanted you to have this whole feeling that, oh, this is, some greater point to your life, and we're going through and announcing is like, hey, the villain's here, but you collect Pokemon, and there's no purpose. You've taken away to collect them all, because you can't collect them all anymore in the games. You've taken away Championship in the last few games. You still had in Galar, but you took it away in pretty much from Alola, Scarlet and Violet, and ZA. There's no sense of a championship. There's no sense of fulfilling, because at least in Arceus you had to build up the Pokedex. You are one of the first people building up the Pokedex of this area. So that made sense. You collect the information and all that. And you had to help figure out the disasters of the time rifts. I still, to this day, don't understand the immortality element of ZA. I really don't. I played the full game. I'm in game, and it's just like, what now? Yeah, finish collecting what I can in the game. I just feel it's a big letdown. And if I would be more pissed off if I did get the Switch 2 version. Because then you're talking an $80 effectively purchase, plus another $30 for the damn DLC. So you're talking about $110, $120 for a game that the plot isn't there. Scarlet and Violet at least gave us a plot in the DLC. At least gave us a plot in the DLC. And I felt that was way better than the story they gave us in the game. But this plot, it just felt like, who's our villain? Right. Let's put a bunch of people here. Yeah, this guy's cool. Let's do this weird organization, make them look like they're a villain. Same with this organization. Let's put in these groups, and all of a sudden, wow, we have a game. Did you bother thinking of your plot? No, you didn't. You thought of a very dry and uninteresting plot. And I would give you a higher score if you showed more, if you gave us better graphic to this. This was a downgrade. I felt there was more to the world and to exploring and to the development. Even though the city changes as you continue the game, I feel that this game is just not really caring at all. And it's not just Game Freak in this issue. And we're seeing that more and more. And honestly, I'm getting to the point where I'd much rather spend my money with indie studios that can at least get me something better with story, better with plot, and not just completely just do the minimum. And that's what this is. It's the minimum. It's the minimum from Pokemon. And it's disappointing. It really is. So I gotta get working more on the art here. But let's talk about things in general. The Pokemon and the Mega Evolutions, because we gotta include the Mega Evolutions with the Pokemon, because that's the whole gameplay. I do feel exploring the city, while an interesting concept, lackluster. I feel like I'm just walking through an area, walking through an element of the story where it's just bland. And if that's what you provide me as someone who's bought your products, watched your stuff, supported you over the years, because I mean it is a support to pay into these games. I honestly feel you're letting down your audience, and Pal World shows it. The fact that you all continuously poo-poo anybody else doing the same thing, to the point that Nintendo, you sued and lost, which I'm glad you lost. Someone making a similar product, despite the fact that you were not the first to commit this product, you were not the first to do it, and there were lots of other companies other than that. You just decided to sue the first company that you thought you could. And it makes Nintendo look a whole lot worse as a company. And all that lawsuit has done is made you look worse as a company. So we're seeing the same thing with Belvista this past few weeks. They released, or technically re-released, Fallout 4 and their anniversary edition. And with the release that they did, they made it essentially a buggy mess, to the point you actually cannot play the game. I had planned for Christmas to just kind of do some silly Christmas stuff in Fallout. That was going to be my plan, but then the anniversary came out, and I can't even play the damn game because it's so broken. Now Bethesda's saying, we're trying to fix it. It's the mods that we don't support. You're breaking your game without any mods attached. And then you have the audacity to not only charge more for the upgrade or getting the whole game in one package in the Anniversary Edition, for a game that has been on Steam for under $20 before. And you then make it where, okay, we added all this new content. How did we get it? Well, then you have to buy that content that we just added. Now, mind you, we didn't make the content because they didn't. Our fans made it. Our, contributors made it. And these are the ones we think are good. And the ones they think are good are like skins. And it's like, this is crap. Total 100% crap. You're treating your audience poorly. I am of the mind concept that I am going to wait on Skyrim or whatever, Elder Scrolls 6. I'm already of that mindset. I'm also possibly at the mindset of never buying it again. Never buying another Bethesda title again. Because it is just corporate greed. And Nintendo, you're right there too. I grew up cutting my teeth on Zelda and Mario, okay? And also, Metroid. Metroid's having problems. They just released the game. They have problems. There's almost no quality assurance through any product they release. And they release games that are buggy as hell. And what's worse, they rush them out for cash. Quick cash. I feel, have they given this game 2 more years to develop, that they spent time on making the background better, actually having buildings you can go inside that aren't just empty hallways, and actually showing us a developed world, I feel that would have been so much better if you could have worked out the plot, worked out the theories. Right now, I know Game Freak's getting ready to launch a new Pokemon title. We all know that. We all expect it's going to probably drop at some point next year. It's a given for Nintendo. It's a given for Game Freak. But the problem is, do we want to play something that's just going to be another bland, boring monster catcher? I don't know. I feel the concept of having a plot to the games has been lacking. And some people are like, oh, well, the first edition or the first games didn't have much of a plot at all. It's like, no, it had a plot. You go out there to be the best you could be, the champion. And you collect the Pokemon. That was the concept. That was the, story. But you also had Team Rocket. You also had, Rival in the game. And here, the Rival, he gets to the same level as you when you hit the top. Do we see him do any fighting to that? No. Have we kicked his ass multiple times since before then? Yes. So why the hell do I not feel... Well, I mean, I can honestly tell you, it's not that I do or not. It's absolutely 100%. I felt ripped off at that point. Because it's like, oh, you've made it to the top. You're the #1 player. Oh, but so was your rival. Well, in the previous Pokemon games, I could knock down my rival and take the championship, okay? There's no sharing a freaking top, winner set up here. And let me talk about another thing that's pissed me off about the Pokemon game. Especially ZA, but Scarlet did, Violet did it too. Why can't I have a fucking skirt? An actual skirt in the game. You do all this customizable of a character and you give me skirts. And skirts are ugly. I'm flat out saying it. As someone who's designed outfits, designed clothing for characters in a fictional environment, skirts are ugly as sin. Why I can't have a character with a skirt, I don't know. That seems like them trying to make the game, because they're like, oh, the only guess I can say is because they're like, oh, well, you know, you're fantasizing about the girl. No, yeah, I'm fantasizing. I am that girl. Okay? I'm fantasizing being the person I'm playing the game because it's my avatar. Why can't I get it to look the way I would like to see it? You'd be like, oh, well, we can't do short skirt. Then do a long skirt, for God's sake. For a game that credits itself for having all these fashion trends and all this fashion in there, you don't have the fashion. You have the ugliest outfits in the game. And you're like, oh, that's fashion. No, it's not. That is just depriving an audience. That's just making yourselves think you are fashionable when you're completely ignoring the actual look and personality of the characters. I do like having ultimate options of that, but let a girl be a girl and a guy be a guy in the game. I know there's this, whole thing about, the, guys being the feminized character and the game a bit there. And, I mean, we could talk all day and night about, people and what they picture a character in a game, whether they loot after this or, whether they just want to have something they enjoy in a game. I feel it's up to the damn player. I know we don't. We shouldn't, demand every size and look for Pokemon because the game's more about the Pokemon. But as a trainer, you should have at least options. And I feel every time they say they've added more options, they haven't. They haven't. I'm getting very much EA feel for their sports games, where it's just, we're going to put a, glossy cover over top of a game we built 10 years ago. And as a fan, as someone who's been playing these games since they launched, I'm just disappointed. Really disappointed. And it was a situation, like I said, it was that kind of customization went away in Scarlet and Violet. I don't understand why. In fact, let me see if I can find it right now. We should be talking, bring up the talk, but and they won't even, I can't even see this. All clothing and outfits. All right, let's see. Let me go to talk version so you guys can see what I'm seeing. Bottoms. Let's go to bottoms. Pants, 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 pants. Shorts, 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 pants, 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 shorts, 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 shorts. wide leg pants. These look like skirts, but they're not. They're skirts if you look around them. And it even says skort. I've had a skort. I mean, I'm not saying skirts are horrible, but if you're gonna have a skirt, you want a skirt to look like a skirt with shorts underneath. You don't want to see this bundled up crap in the back that makes it look like you pooped yourself. It's ugly, it's stupid. Give me an actual skirt. See, this is the only skirt we get, and it's ugly. Let's bring it back up. Only skirt we can get in the game, and it's ugly because they put these ugly leggings underneath them. Wide legs, wide legs, wide legs, wide legs, wide legs. Skirts, skirts, more skirts. That's it. The one pair of skirts that you give me are ugly as sin, leggings attached. I can't have the skirt without the leggings. And that's me nitpicking. That's me absolutely nitpicking the series. When I see, and I'll tell you the glitches I ran across. So I had one where I got stuck. And the game does unstick you when you get stuck. So they at least fixed that issue from Scarlet and Violet. But I had a lot of times in later game, it was in the later game, where I was not getting the models loading in properly. I was not getting textures. I just got this gray slob for a building. And it's like, okay, textures are a bit of a problem. That's an easy fix. And we could say, yeah, maybe on the Switch 2, you can get that problem fixed. Higher, we're pushing the limit of what the Switch is capable, so switch over to the Switch 2 and we might get a better option. I will give them that. I literally am frustrated though when I'm trying to go through my boxes and find my Pokemon. I can't organize it properly. I can't even get through it properly. And there are times I'm like, where the hell did this Pokemon go? And I swear the box moved them to somewhere different than I put them. And I feel there's stuff of the game that is severely unpolished. I really do. Again, if I felt you gave this game 2 more years of development, put some actual effort into it. Don't give me 2 years and just not do anything, come back out with this crap. Maybe it would have been decent. And we had issues with, textures loading in, Arceus, but at least Arceus gave us a new thing in the game. So let's talk about what I do like. Like I said, I like the music. The music's pretty catchy. We get some nice jazz mixed in with some other French-based jazz in there. I mean, it's a combination of French and jazz is what I'm getting. So you get sort of a little bit of the accordion, squeeze box accordion, which is the smaller one. So you get the little instead of the heavier stuff. It's just, I hate to say it, it literally is. I wish there was more variety to the music. Because after, like I said, 20 hours of trying to play the game and coming across the same song multiple times, it's been like, alright, this is meh. Can I have, something with a little bit more replayability. Yeah. The Pokemon choices, it's a mixed bag. They're still trying to push Pokemon I feel are just worthless in every sense of the word. And then we go into the designs of the Mega Forms. They're nice. Some of them are nice. Some of them are outright ugly. And I question, what the hell they're doing entirely in that scene. But when we talk about, what's going on with the art, what's going on with the story, it's not a game. If you lead me by my nose for hours upon hours saying, well, we need you to catch this one, and we're going to point you directly to where to find it, and it's going to take you no time to catch it, and if you miss, we'll give you the Pokeballs back. It's like, you're taking the challenge out of the game. You really have taken the challenge out of the game. And to call it I used to be like, no, I'm not going to call Pokemon a kid's game because it's a popular game. It's a kid's game now. It's 100% a kid's game. I don't feel I've ever left the tutorial in the game. I never did. I feel they're basically dumbing down their games more and more each time, not making challenges that are even challenging, not really making puzzles that are hard to figure out. The only thing I would look up for if I'm confused is sometimes how to evolve this Pokemon in this game. And again, it's doing what Arceus did, where you can't breed. So you can't breed Pokemon, and you can't really. Well, I mean, I guess you could trade them. I guess you can do some sort of trading, but it's hard to get the trades done. Actually, no, you can't do trades now that I think about it. You can't. You can only compete each other online. You can't really trade. So there goes two elements of Pokemon that have been around since Gold and Silver days. I mean, trading has been around since the initiation, and daycare has been around since Gold and Silver. You take those elements out, so there's no way to get some Pokemon without hunting down, and waiting for the brief moment to catch them. And if like, okay, I did that in ZA, Arceus. I understand, it's a challenge. Then you added the ball catch guy. And you allowed it to where I can knock out Pokemon and catch them that way. You've taken all the difficulty of Pokemon and just threw out the window. You really have. There's no difficulty in this game. None. It's permanently on easy mode. And I even question if it's just easy mode. When I play a game, I'm not the best, at playing games. We've shown that on the stream. I suck at some video games. I'm absolutely horrible. And I know it. I don't claim to be a big old, oh, watch me for the mastery of these games. It's like, no. I mean, even in games like, Stardew Valley, where I have a lot of experience and we've had a lot of audience and views from, I'm not a master of that game by any means. I just feel it's a big letdown. It really is. And if this is the continued rate of Pokemon, you're just going to keep losing audience. You are. You're already having people leave because there's no challenge. When you have to go online play, and that's the only area you really get a challenge. Is that fun for a one-player game? No. And let's talk about the online play. I talked about it. It's like, okay, I've not had an easy time playing them. But let's talk about the actual play in that. We're talking about a 5-minute at most fight with 4 other players over the online that are randomly generated together, so there's no telling who's going to be good, who's going to be bad. And it's just a slugfest, and you don't explain anything of what the green or the red do. Everybody, of course, just mega evolves their most powerful mega evolutions there are in the game, and that's that. The strategy has gone away in the game. I played this game. I got 3 Pokemon in the game. When I got them, I never had them leave my team at all because they've been the best characters to play the game. Greninja. What is it? Not Zorak. Crap. I'm forgetting characters. Well, I mean, Gardevoir is one, and what is? Going on. All right. Let's go real quickly down this list here. Lucario. Why did I forget Lucario? Yeah, Lucario, Gardevoir, and Greninja. Had them in my team. Played them pretty much all the way through the game. And didn't even need to use the other 3 slots at all. I'd switch them up to, evolve some. But when I have those 3 and have them spec'd out differently to cover multiple territory, I don't need anybody else. I really don't. Those 3 Pokemon just kind of just dominate the game. I just feel these games have made me tired about Pokemon. Literally tired. And, some people be like, oh, well, it's not bad that you just, you're 40, as you claim. Maybe it's time to retire from being a Pokemon player. It's like, look, I enjoy certain things. I'm going to sit down and enjoy them. It is getting to the point where Pokemon is not an enjoyment anymore. At least the latest games. I will go back and play the old games, right and left, and why I cannot take a character from the Game Boy Advance or the Game Boy choices on my Switch and put them in home, I don't understand either. And I mean, I'm being picky because, yeah, I am someone who has, God, it's almost 30 years. It'll be 30 years literally next year, this time next year. On December 10th, is the anniversary of Embry Arts. That we've been doing this since, it'll be 30 years next year. So we're on year 29. So my own brand, my own company has been around longer than the Pokemon franchise. Now, I've switched and changed things here and there and done different things with that brand. But I know if I don't evolve, if I don't keep changing, nothing's going to come of it. It's just going to be dull, boring, and just irrelevant. And some people may be like, well, you already are pretty irrelevant. And be like, yeah, probably. But as I stated before in my life, I do this because I love to do this. Not because I'm making money. Not because right now I'm not making money off this stuff. In fact, it costs me a lot of money each year. But I like to entertain. I like to bring smiles and joy to people. I feel Pokemon, as it's getting older, is just corporate. That's it. There's nothing enjoyable about it. I mean, I've been watching the new series as well. You know, the current Pokemon series. I gave up on the original Pokemon years ago, countless years ago, on television. And it helps that I know some of the voice talent, because I met them over the years, that continue to still work on Pokemon to this day. But to sit around and be like, we can't put that talent in our game when they're already on your payroll. Hell, I'm against using AI for art and for games. They look horrible. D&D's kind of doing it anyway. But I would give a pass to Game Freak, okay? If you can give me a better plot, if you can give me some actual, I don't know, voice acting in the game, something to make the game more entertaining. Put an actual challenge in the game. Because I didn't feel Scarlet and Violet was a challenge. I don't feel much I didn't feel Galar was much of a challenge. I just feel it's getting worse and worse with the handholding. What seemed to be 2-hour handhold and Alola, I felt was almost repeated in this game. Some people be like, oh, it's not that bad. No, it's that bad. It really is that bad. And because I wanted a challenge, I chose one of my favorite Pokemon of the second generation as my starter. I chose Chikorita. The one Pokemon that a lot of people will be like, that's crap. It's the worst starter in the game. And I was like, let this give me a challenge. Then once I got Gardevoir, Lucario, and freaking Greninja, there was no challenge at all. I am still facing opponents that are in the 50s, and my characters are in the 80s in level. I literally, it's the start of a match, I kick their ass before they even can get a move in. So, it disappoints me. It disappoints me as a fan to see the games dumb down worse and worse each generation.
I've seen it all, but I won't let their judgment be my downfall.
Combat. Let's talk about the combat.
Standing tall,
So we can finally move, and we can. Then they finally gave us a concept of using the 4 buttons as our, choices and moves.
their words so cold.
Gone are ethers,
My spirit
PP, and all that. I mean, given
this journey's mine.
PP was always the joke. You need to raise your Pokemon's PP.
Approval to be free. I'm breaking the
But honestly, if they had kept that in, it would be more challenging. But they're like, no, because then it'd be too rough for a player. We can't have them. They can't do anything after they lose all their power, and they're up against another Pokemon. As it stands, I can just reach into the bag and heal all my Pokemon in between battles. It's not that hard. And then we get to the actual tournament of ZA. Dear God. Is it just... Wait a second, did I... Son of a... I just feel... It's not entertaining. It really isn't. The battles, you go and fight a bunch of generic NPCs for a fight continuously, right and left. And like I said, then you just jump. It's not AZ, it's, Z to V to G to A. We're missing several letters in the alphabet. At some point, I guess Nintendo decided, or Game Freak decided, we can't have them, go all the way through the alphabet. That would be tiresome and annoying. Like, well, why don't you make that an interesting part of the game? But no, it's the same thing over and over again from the moment you first play the ZA game to the end of the game. You're constantly having to do the go and meet, you can go to this area at night, beat the crap out of a bunch of players with certain move techniques and whatnot, come out on a card, and repeat. Once you have your goal is to have this much by this point, by the end of the day, end of the battle, or when it comes dawn again. And then you can go and fight the challenger of that match. And the challenger will be
We should help him. It's time for him to go.
just some of the lamest characters. How many streamer electric users are we going to keep getting? Yeah, I get it. It's a popular thing. Oh, internet, using electricity streaming. Think creatively, all right? Think. Maybe have someone who is, I don't know, an electrician. Actually doing something, being the first game, yeah, it didn't make much sense. It was Lieutenant Surge. It was the military man as the electricity challenge. But I feel Surge has more characteristic to him than whatever her freaking name is in ZA. I don't even remember it. I remember she's an idol with a bunch of little freaking dolls that you collect to get more experience and money and stuff from, but it's dull. It really is. But we are dealing with basically the dumbing down of audience and ripping off of audiences. Because, like I said, Belthista, they've done worse. Belthista, I feel, has done the worst thing this year. And it literally is being, hey, you loved Fallout 4. Why not buy it again at a higher price than you paid for it when you got it the first time? Oh, and all that stuff you had bought and, put on your character, or maybe bought from the Creation Collection, that's gone. Oh, we'll offer it to you again, but they're broken now. Oh, that's a feature in our game. It's broken. It's really freaking annoying. It really is. Let's cover a little bit of that before we get this. Skirt. This should not be an article about a game that's been out for 10 years. Belthista finally promises to fix Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition after stream backlash. After days of silence and a flood of negative reviews on Steam, Belthista has finally responded to the controversy of Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition. The studio says it's already digging into issues reported by the players and has laid out a series of hot fixes. This should gradually bring the troubled Anniversary update into better shape. It's been over a month. It's still broken. It's worse, in fact, I've been told by some people. They haven't even done anything for the console. And for the PC players, the only way to fix it is to go to modders and mod the game to fix it. And even then, you're no guarantee that it's going to be fixed, because the moment Belthista fixes it again, it's broken again. And the audacity that you have to buy this or the upgrade to get the function to buy. It's not even the option to have, it's the option to buy more crap. You're paying, at best, $40 to buy mods. I get helping out modders and creators out there of mods, but Belthista destroys the mods they make and charges you for them. What the fuck? So let's look at some reviews also of ZA, because we were talking about it. This is Geek Culture's review. I kind of am curious what they say. So, about Fortune Favors the Bold, and even Pokemon, the world's highest grossing media franchise to date, competition doesn't even come close. It's no exception to the rule. Representing shiny, ambitious departure from the formula in 2022, with Legends of Arceus pointed a way towards tantalizing future with a semi-open world expansion. The ability to throw and aim Pokeballs to capture critters without engaging in combat and incorporating dodging mechanics and rich lore, only to be held back by hints of budget constraints and rushed development. It shows. It really does. I honestly, at this point, feel the best thing for Game Freak to do, besides, take more time on your project. Belthista, on the other hand, is doing the opposite. They're taking too much time on their projects. But, and they're still screwing it up. But in the case of Game Freak, take their time. The fact that this game doesn't even look current gen. I've been through 8-bit to now, And you're telling me I can't have a game that looks of current gen in Pokemon? It's insulting. It's insulting. And it's gonna keep making money because it's Pokemon. But what we did learn this at least the last few weeks, and this is something I've been holding back on the Bethesda because it looked like they were fixing things, and no, they haven't. I also been holding back on the Nintendo lawsuit issues. Because I wanted to make sure we had everything down to right. And it's now come out that Nintendo cannot claim that Pal World stole their product, their licensing, effectively. Which I feel is just proper because their licensing it's been duplicated with Digimon, it's been duplicated with Monster Rancher, it's been duplicated with a bunch of other games. And it's not as bad as the D&D OGL scandal, which is a mess unto itself. But it's still bad. It's really bad. And if we're not going to be getting games from from creators that we like, and we see it from indies, I feel the concept of the AAA company is in its dying phase. I really do. And I'm not alone in this. A lot of people, I've been listening to people's reviews, listening to what they have to say about this, that they're right. 100% they're right. The AAAs are dying, and it's because they make crap. I will take downgrades in graphics to get better results. I will go back to the Pokemon Pixel days, where it's a pixelated image, if I can actually have a unique game. Ultimately, it's a fandom thing. It really is. And I feel if Nintendo and Game Freak continue this path, Pokemon will be a dead franchise in about 10 years. It will be. Because the players are going to start wisening up on all angles and be like, this is broken. This is a piece of crap you're putting in my face. And you're telling me it's a sandwich. And that I should eat it and enjoy it. Results will really tell with the next game they've coming. So we know the next game's coming and coming soon with Nintendo. Next year with Nintendo, they have a second anniversary. This year was the 30th anniversary of Mario. Next year is the 30th anniversary of Zelda. The closest we get next year to anything Zelda related is the movie. And I don't even know if that'll come out next year. So, I feel Nintendo needs to have some days of winter, essentially, on them. They've had it in the past. They almost went bankrupt in the past. And I feel fans really need to kind of bring that feeling back. because it's like, we are not happy with the way these games are coming out. We're not happy with the results. We're going to stop buying your games. And then Nintendo might listen, or they might go the way of Sony. Or not Sony, Sega. They may go the way of Sega. And Sega, it's irrelevant. Problem is it's pretty much PlayStation's, I hate to say it, PlayStation's the weak point of the Sony catalog. Now I say that as an owner of a PlayStation 5. Xbox has pretty much killed itself, but Microsoft has bought up so many properties and has decided they're just going to launch those on multiple platforms that they are going the way of Sega. But I almost feel you can't count Nintendo out for doing the same, the way they're going. Because as a person who truly grew up on the NES, the NES was my first game system. My brother now has our old, still working NES with our Zelda and all these other titles we've had as kids. The old gold cartridge Zelda game. And it's depressing that I feel the game is far more entertaining, the original Zelda, than like the current Pokemon. I feel no challenge from Pokemon. I feel little challenge from most games Nintendo releases these years. I can't speak for the Metroid game because I haven't played the Metroid game, and that's one I'd rather play on the new system. If I get it. If I get it. But with pricing as things have gotten, with cost of living, with cost of a lot of things, stuff's going to have to go by the wayside. And it is something I've been meaning to talk about on my own streams, on my own platform, and my own Patreon. So, something I don't ever talk about is the cost to do everything that people want from me. The cost in time, nor the actual physical cost. It cost me about $500 a year to host and just draw comics. $500. That doesn't include social marketing. That doesn't include, the production rates of the videos. I don't even include that in the rate, and yet this is a costly venture. It costs my setup. I'm not going to include the computer cost. The computer cost would be $6,000 with a $500 expenditure to maintain and release the product I put out. The stuff I put out that a lot of people want, we did a poll recently. It's like, well, what do people want to see on this channel? What do people want to see from my work? And I keep getting inundated for the one thing I don't want to do. I never wanted to do. I'm going to make requests open again coming the next year. However, You can only request the character. Period. You cannot request what they're doing and how they're doing it. Because I've had way too many abusers do it. We are no longer allowing what to do. You can only request a character drawing. That's coming down next month. Patreon may be dropped entirely. We have Patreon right now. You're seeing a little ad right there of our Patreon handle. I feel I've not been living up to those that have been paying. And it's been a feeling for a while now. Streaming. The only content people like me to stream is popular games and the art requests that no one was watching anyway. Let me go back to the art here. This stream, while I stand with you, we've had one viewer on my end that I can see. One. I've honestly sat trying to figure out, why do I keep doing this? And the simple answer is, I want to tell stories that I want to tell. But at the same time, I'm realizing I'm going into my 50s. And I am not releasing comics like I used to. I used to release a chapter a month of Demon Blade when I rushed it. Now I'm lucky to get through 2 chapters a year. Between my health and having to do umpteen other things, I will continue to do what my patrons have paid me to do, to release what they requested. That's a given. What I'm gonna probably do, because I'm spending, like I said, $500 just to do the art a year. To host and do the art a year. And it gets views. It gets some views. Some of them go, people enjoy, and some of them people absolutely just are asses with. I am a professional artist who spends more of my money on what I love to do and see little return payback. Does this mean I'm going to call it quits at some point and things? Possibly. Possibly. I don't feel like telling stories that I don't like to produce. And the stories I produce, no one wants to read. Or no one wants to support. No one wants to pay for. It's absurd to spend the money I have to keep my art going. But I've done it up until this point for the love of my creation, for the love of telling a story. I've been homeless twice because of it. And worked and got out of homelessness twice because of it. But as I sit here, literally doing Uber as the only way to make money in my life, I have to question it. Does the world care about a story anymore? Or do you just want to consume product after product after product like this Pokemon game that has been utter shit? Love or hate me, I don't give a shit. I'm not doing it for you, I'm doing it for me. We're gonna keep doing streaming games because that's that. But I have to go into this month and through this month to decide if I want to keep doing art for an audience that's not there. I don't know. I've been making so much smut and so much crap, and that's all that people want. And now that AI is out there, no one wants that. They want AI to do it because it's cheap. It's free. They don't have to pay for it. Creativity is dying. Not just mine, multiple creators. And be like, oh, well, you know, AI is the better way to produce it. We need an AI to... AI is a tool. It's an actual tool. Can you create great things with it? No. Usually, if you leave AI up to itself, it's gonna create shit. Eye-numbing, unadulterated, just blabbling shit. There's no heart in AI. But we're getting too damn mind dumb in this world that we don't give a shit. We just want to consume. I think as I sit here today and I talk about two crappy gaming companies, and I compare myself to this situation, I would rather die in obscurity than live as a shellless corporation. That was my ideal in college. Never be the shell. I'm willing to sell out. I'm willing to do work for people. I'm willing to put heart, and effort into work for people. But if what I'm gonna get is nothing, then I am just bleeding out to nothing. That's not depression speaking. That's so. If somebody thinks, oh well, you know, this is going in a dark way. The dark way is living the concept of irrelevancy. I have over several thousand people that tune into my work on DeviantArt. Every freaking day, I get notifications from DeviantArt. Multiple, at times. And it's usually the same slop. Literally slop. I feel dirty making that slop. It's soulless, and it's just corny. It doesn't have to be nudity to be porn. It can just be porn in the sense of the mind. Porn in the sense of what I want to consume. And that is what we get from Bethesda. That is what we're getting from Nintendo these days. The triple A's are just feeding you slop. I'm going to keep drawing. I'm going to keep telling the stories I want to tell. I will be on my deathbed, pen in hand. If I can't use my hands, I'll put it in my mouth and I'll do it that way.
The icy darkness is where I hide. No one ever again to walk by
Last time we did a stream, or had someone comment on the art streams, particularly this stream. They asked why I was using an AI voice instead of drawing traditionally and saying no to AI. The AI is a tool. Again, we have AI music. You're hearing it play right now. If I could afford thousands of dollars and throw it at an actual band to perform these songs, to actually make these actual songs work, I would. I would. Because I do love when someone creates and tells something that's pure from within them. What I hate is when it's just absolutely, I'm doing this because it's consumable. I am on 2 platforms that, well, technically 3, that I feel are nothing but consumed platforms. And you can see the top stuff on them is just slop. YouTube is inundated with AI slop. Webtoons has the same damn love story told over and over again. It's nothing new, and that's always what's put forward. Nothing anybody else creates is put forward. Only the typical K-drama love story, which has been repeated multiple times on that damn site. And Tapas is no bet. Honestly, my second largest audience. So my first largest is on DeviantArt. My second largest audience, Amazon. And I had to work with Amazon foot by foot, inch by inch, to develop a comic production with them. To be something other on their platform than just another Marvel, DC, sloppy graphic novel story that's repeated and redone and retold and retold and retold till it's dead. Beyond dead. I thank Amazon for letting me do that. And last day, Netflix had proposed to buy Warner Brothers. And today, Paramount proposes to buy Warner Brothers over Netflix. Or maybe buy Netflix. I hate to say it, as someone who grew up at the start of cable, there's a certain point where you're literally shouting, and I mean, I can say that as I'm shouting at nobody right now, from what I can tell. There's a certain point that you're just playing crap that no one is watching. And then the reason why no one's watching, hell, I mean, you could create the greatest thing ever. But if no one's watching because they're just watching the same old crap, how many Doctors TV shows are there that have been on the air for multiple years that have told no story? Not, it's been like, oh, drama, this person's in love with this person. Oh, drama, this person's dying and we need to save them. It's a high-risk environment. I had roommates that were huge Grey's Anatomy fans. I've had friends that were huge Law and Order fans. Those shows to me were the dullest pieces of crap you can put on TV. The only thing that was worse, reality television. They were cool ideas, but when you sat down to watch it, your brain was dumber. The more and more I watched AI come to fruition and be used as a creative motion, the more and more I realize the world is getting dumber. And I'm not alone. A lot of people know this. It's like, oh, I'm just watching this because I can watch something. I'm just listening to this because I want to listen to something. I do this for the love of creation. That's why I do this. You may be different. You may be like, oh, I need to make money. I'll tell you right now, you're an artist, you're an independent artist, you're not going to make money. Period. Not in your lifetime. Never can, never will. More than likely, your stuff's going to be claimed by some company, and you'll be given, a little pittance until they want to rewrite it, and you have no say in the matter because you sold your property off to a company. At which point, you're irrelevant. Tell me, what's the last great, the current greatest novel out there for people to read? Anybody? Yeah, that's right. No one can know. Because it's not read anymore. People listen to audiobooks. I mean, I admit it. I listen to audiobooks when I'm in the car or podcasts when I'm in the car. Doing my runs with Uber just to make a buck. But now we're listening to AI-created audiobooks. Now we're listening to AI television, AI YouTube. And they're like, oh, it's funny because baby saved my dog. And we're dumbing ourselves down. If you're going to be creative, don't be creative because you want to make money. Be creative because you want to create. That's all I can say. As for what's coming down the line with DeviantArt, I'm half tempted to shut down DeviantArt. I really are. Really am. Because it's the same crap over and over and again. And at this point, it's just going to be like, no. I'm going to tell my stories, and that's that. I don't give a crap. That being said, my overall opinion of Pokemon AZ, it's boring. It's a C. That's what it is. It's a C. It's neither A nor Z. It's just a C. It's mid. And if Game Freak just keeps doing this, then they're going to go lower in that score more and more and more until they can produce something that is utterly useless to people demanding their money back. And the biggest franchise in the world will come crumbling down. Why? Because no care is given. No time is given. No love is given into the games. It shows. It really shows. That's why Pokemon AZ is bad. ZA, whatever. I keep wanting to go AZ because it's the way the alphabet. But ZA. Pokemon ZA is bad. Because it has no life in it. I expected better. And I should have known better. That's what it comes down to. And I mean, maybe... I know I'm not alone in this thought because I've heard other reviews. But I know I'm also... If anybody comes on here, they're going to watch about 5 seconds of the video and downvote it. That's what they're going to do. I guarantee you, they won't listen to the reasonings. They won't listen into this speech. And why, as a creator, a little bit of me just died this year. And playing crap. And listening to crap. And watching people just consume. I'm going to keep writing stories. I'm going to keep drawing stories. I'm going to keep doing videos, even if no one watches. Because that's something to keep me occupied. Something to keep me doing something. Am I going to spend this much money on my continued run? Probably not. Probably not. $500 a year at this moment is a lot to swallow. And I'm literally about to pay another 6 months for my website, which is over $170. Just the website. For 6 months. I built a website in 1996 when it was free. I expanded that website in 2000, and I was paying at most $50. Now I pay $300. Same size website. People do go on it because I can see it. A lot of them are Russian bots. Figure. Most of our streams, including the one posting we have here from Kick, have been bots. I went to go check the Kick numbers today of our last stream. We got inundated by about 20 to 30 bots on our Persona stream on Friday from Kick. We've had one view on Kick. One. I've been getting more views on Twitch than I have YouTube or Kick. Twitter's always kind of a difficult place to tie in unless you know I'm on there streaming. You may not watch it. But that being said, that's enough of this old person decrying and blowing into the wind, because people told me they don't really like me doing these videos. They've literally told me that, both in thumbs downs and in polling. All they want is to consume. That's all they want.
You think that love's a
I don't know. I don't know. It's sad. It's sad. And it's a problem with the world today. It really is. But we shall see. We shall see. That being said, Demon Blade available now. Book 1 is available now on Google for ebook purchase. Also available on Amazon in both ebook and printed version, although the printed version is only available in the United States or England. So you will have to connect to Amazon as a US or English person, UK, essentially, person in the UK, and pick it up that way. That's the only way you can get the printed. I'm saying there are ways to overpass that, those that are not in the US or in UK. You know, you just go online, put in anonymous, and say you're from this part of the world. Then have the delivery address elsewhere. That being said,
Demon Blade and Witchn, yeah, I know I've been quiet. We haven't been releasing anything for a little bit because I've been really
burned out. On top of being unhealthy, dealing with Uber streams, having non-stop work, and today, simply because there's been ice and snow making me not want to risk my new car it's the only reason I've been doing comics today and doing any work. I actually dread to do the Patreon stuff these days. I really do. Which is why I feel like I'm just ripping off the Patreon. I'm going to come up with something new, though. We're going to do something different. 2026. It's 30 years of Ember Yard. I got to do something different. That being said, go out there. Be the best you that you can be. Go out and be creative. Do something creative. Write, draw, sing, laugh, joke, whatever. Be creative. Don't use AI to be creative. Use yourself to be creative. Use your brain. And as always, have a wonderful evening, a wonderful week, and a wonderful year. I'll see y'all Thursday night. Night, everybody.
Lights go down streams and thanks for time we spent. Laughs and smiles all through night. With you, it feels just right. Signing off. Don't forget like, comment, sub. Signing off. Ring the bell and show some love. Good vibes, share the fun ride. With you, I'm filled with pride.